Hello friends. So talking about the switch from the BS4 to the BS6 engines and the fuel, what is happening in the industry of automakers, the suppliers of components, the ancillary industry, and the fuel suppliers as well, the three OMCs, IOCL, BPCL, HPCL, how they are working on refineries and to adhere to the compliant fuel of BS6. So we all know that today is the last day of using the old of selling the old BS4 vehicles from the manufacturing gates of all the car manufacturers. And from tomorrow, a new start is there where only BS6 vehicles can be sold from the manufacturing firms. Now, as this is a lockdown situation on request from the Dealers Association, it has been extended by 10 more days by the Supreme Court. However, that is not much in order to sell further the BS4 old inventory lying with the car dealers. So that is one thing, that whether that time is good enough, because we have near about 7 lakh two-wheelers sitting in the uh, as unsold inventory, then around 15,000 commercial vehicles and some 25,000 uh, passenger vehicles lying unsold. So is it and during the lockdown period, is it possible even to sell these cars? So these questions are definitely there, and there is expected that it will be further extended, which will allow these dealers to sell the products up till 30th June as they have requested earlier. It depends on how the corona unfolds and the lockdown unfolds. So so that is one part of the story. However, we see the preparedness of the industry from both creating engine which is compliant to BS6 to creating fuel at the refinery end which is compliant to BS6 fuel requirements. It has all happened, and the industry has proved their resilience in a way that they could have gone from 1st April to offer these services in a proper way to the consumers. So this is something needs to be acknowledged. The government needs to understand that these are all happening when the environment and the economy is highly under slowdown, and the situation is further aggravated because of the corona lockdowns. So in that context, definitely the industries and all are asking for their own demands. Tax cut is one particular thing which can be offered by the government. Price hike for the refineries, the oil sellers is something the fuel sellers, the three OMCs want, so that they can cover up the investments what they have made. The three OMCs together have made somewhere around 35,000 crore in order to switch from the BS4 to BS6 compliant fuels in the past couple of years. Going into technicality, recently Sanjeev Singh, the IOC chairman, very well explained how the majority of the thing is to reduce the sulfur content from the earlier norm of 50 parts per million, which was within the BS4 norms, to now less than 10 parts per million under the BS6 norm. Beyond that, the other things are definitely there for diesel, like the cetane number needs to be within the range, and ROC is to be seen. So those things are definitely there. So this complying from BS4 to BS6 has been very much challenging because of this one critical decreasing the sulfur content. It makes the process very difficult, which was not of similar nature in the previous transitions, like from BS2 to 3, 3 to 4. So that has been pretty challenging, and that is why a lot of investments have happened, a lot of upgradation has happened, and On these lines, they want a higher price for the fuel they will offer, which is compliant with BS6, at least to cover their investments made over the last couple of years. On the other side, when we talk about the car manufacturers, uh, the chairman of Maruti Suzuki, Mr. R.C. Bhargav, he has clearly stated that how the unsold inventory needs to be uh, sold out first, and he talked about the engineering things what they have done in order to how they have collaborated with the Suzuki of Japan in order to upgrade their engines to adhere to BS6 and to adhere to the requirements of the 1st April deadline, and the investments gone into this, and how they have a plethora of models within the Maruti Suzuki brand, and how the work has been very high for them because of such different types of engines and such different models in their portfolio. And still they have managed well, but definitely they are also, along with the entire manufacturing society, are looking for a, a, a relaxation on tax and other things. And definitely there's a price hike is going to happen by 5 to 10% or even more in order to make it profitable, because they cannot sell it at a price lesser than the cost. So they cannot operate under operating losses. So that is important for the firms to survive, to keep the employment and everything. Now, in this context, if we see the automakers and the suppliers, the ancillary industries, they have invested somewhere around 10,000 crores in the past couple of years to upgrade their engines and to BS6 from the current BS4. So a lot of investments are happening, and the industry has shown their resilience to meet the requirements, the global norms of BS6 and the environmental requirements. So I think a lot is being done from the industry, a lot of resilience and a lot of preparedness and good delivery is done by the industry. Uh, and on this, at the same time, the consumers are also, there's no demand these days due to lockdown, and before that as well we have seen. So the quantity of uh, products, cars being sold is very low. It's the rate of that is decreasing, and that is another economic hit what these uh, car manufacturing firms are taking. So, keeping all things in context, I think it is time for the government to decide upon on how to stimulate this particular industry, because this industry is very important to survive. We have successful homegrown players like Mahindra and Mahindra, and Maruti is there, and many others. So we cannot allow them to die. Yes, testing resilience is one thing, but we cannot allow them to break, because that will scatter an organized sector. Thank you.